Beer and cookies. What kind of a combination is that? Rainy Rider. I hope you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Okay, is the sound back? Let me see. Okay, I think the sound's back. Okay, good. How are you guys all doing? Who was all at the camp out? Because I met so many people and it's so hard connecting real names to YouTube names. And it's really hard just remembering. And I tried to quickly make myself snacks because Rainy Rider was over there making me jealous, and I think I lit my popcorn on fire. So that's your fault, Rainy. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys can all hear me. How's everybody doing? Not sunburnt like me. I'm only a little bit sunburnt, thankfully, and I only had to put on sunscreen one of the days. So you have more snacks? Yeah, I don't have any snacks, but it's kind of rude probably to be eating while I'm talking to you all anyway. You're always sunburnt? Yeah, me too. I feel like I look, even if I'm not sunburnt, I look sunburnt. I don't even have to be in the sun to be sunburnt. Can you guys, okay, I think I've got, can you guys hear an echo? Yes, David, we went on a breakfast ride actually the day after I was there. Me, Rainy Rider, and a bunch of other people, I don't remember everybody who went, but we went on what was supposed to be a onesie ride, but a bunch of the people, including me, did not wear onesies because it was very hot out. And yeah, we just didn't end up wearing onesies, but we did go on a group ride. And then on the last day of the camp out, the Sunday of the camp out, then they do something that they call a hangover ride. So it's everyone who's like left over from the camp out itself, and they all go on a group ride. And that ride was really cool. Actually, we went down some nice roads, and there was, just like the style of the ride was actually super cool. It's nice to ride in a group of people that like know how to ride in a group, I guess you can say. I'm used to riding in groups. When I have ridden in groups around here, actually, they don't keep it very tight, and that always kind of bothers me. Like, I don't like when the group gets split up at lights and stuff like that. And it's for some I've ridden in a group where they have like blockers, people actually blocking traffic so we can all make it through a stop sign at the same time. And I met like quite a few of my viewers there, which was pretty cool. I was actually surprised to see like so many people there who knew who I was, because I didn't really have those kind of expectations. I knew that there'd be a few people there, and it was just more than I was actually expecting. Hey, Jay. So that was pretty cool. Hi, Diana. I had such a good time, Diana, and I have to thank Rainy Rider. Thank you so much for just like taking so much time just to make it so that everything worked out for me. Like Rainy Rider really went above and beyond to make me feel comfortable and just to make sure that I was totally set up and everything. So I will have to be bringing you some ketchup chips, Rainy Rider, as a thank you for next time. Aside from a live stream, did I make any sightseeing videos? I didn't actually. You know what? I didn't factor in the amount of time that it would take just to drive everywhere. So I went to the OCC Roadhouse and Museum on the last day that I was there, and I made a little video there. But I definitely would have liked to actually check out some of the sites and just check out more stuff. I did go to Ybor City, I think is how you say it, the evening before I left. But I didn't make a video down in Ybor. I think that would be a better video to make maybe during the day when it's light enough out. So yeah, I just didn't factor in. I didn't really think about how long it would take to actually drive everywhere. So next time I go, I'm going to plan it for like at least 2 days of driving so that I can actually go and do everything that I want to do. Because there's definitely places that I want to go and check out. Pickle chip. You guys don't have pickle chips in the States either, do you? That's what someone was telling me. But yeah, I definitely, next time I go, it's going to be better because I'm going to actually know what to bring. I don't think the experience will be better. I think it'll be just as good, but different. But I think my preparedness will be better because I'll know what not to bring. And yeah, I think I brought like way too much stuff that I didn't actually need this time. And my bag was so stupidly heavy and I was just like carrying it around. I brought like this old school carry-on bag that doesn't have wheels or anything like that. So I felt like a cripple by the time I was done carrying that thing through all the airports and stuff. But I had to bring something I could fit onto the bike. So that was kind of the reason for that. But next time, now that I know people and I have offers for places to stay and bikes to ride and stuff, I think it'll be a lot better next time. Yeah, you guys don't have dill pickle potato chips? Ketchup. I'm bringing you guys a goodie box next time I come. Hello, Jima. Trust me. So actually, I just wanted to actually just kind of share with you guys my just whole experience. So very first thing when I got off the plane in Florida, I immediately could feel the humidity, which was just, it was so, like the air felt so thick and heavy. I knew from that day forward, my hair was going to be a disaster. And I think my hair was actually all right for the most part. Hey, Sean. And hey, Eric. Good to see you here. Oh, okay. Well, I hope to see you back here then soon. So yeah, first thing when I got off the plane in Florida, just the air smells so different, but it was really humid. But the smell of Florida, like I actually really, the smell was different. Like it smelled like, it was very distinct. And I kind of miss that air, the way that air felt there. But the camp out itself, very first thing when I showed up there, it was like 2 a.m. Rainy Rider came to pick me up from the airport. And we showed up at the campsite, I think probably around like 2, hey, Rainy. And then David, one of the organizers, came out and gave me a hug like as soon as I showed up there, and everybody was hugging. Like I've never had so many hugs. I've never had so many hugs. I think that's probably the most hugs I'm going to get like all year. So it was pretty cool. Like everyone just made me feel so welcome. I didn't feel like a stranger at all. And there was just so many people there who were so excited to meet me, which just was kind of crazy. I was not expecting any of that. And yeah, just everyone it was so comfortable. Everyone just felt like family. It just felt like a safe place to be. There was like, I had to leave my camera and my phone and things like that out to charge in just like the common area, the Yingling house, they call it. And there was like no worry of anybody taking your stuff. Everyone just felt safe, and just like the mentality of people in the States, like there were so many people who came from like some of the central southern states, and the hospitality and stuff, it was just something else. Like a seafood boil, we had a seafood boil, like that seafood boil will forever hold a place in my heart. It was like one of the best things ever. Yeah, so lots of hugs, and just like, yeah, just it was just such a good time, you guys. Like I definitely want to go back, and I don't want the feeling of it all to wear off. I want to like kind of hold on to the feeling, and just like how it was like so heart filling in a way. And I definitely want to go back as soon as possible. Any opportunity I ever have to come to Forgotten Angels, I'm definitely going to take it. It's not like a small trip for sure. So I don't count on being able to make every single one, but man, I will make every single one that I'm able to make, because it's just one of those things that you can't only do once, I don't think. Yeah, Southern hospitality, billiard bago is a real thing. And that's the first time I've ever actually experienced it. And I've always just like seen it in movies and stuff. And it's actually like a real thing though. It was great. Like I had such a good time, guys. Like, oh, the corn, David. We had street corn one day. Rainy Rider, Shade Tree Surgeon made us street corn, and such a different thing. So the corn was really good, but then we dipped it in butter, and then dipped it in like some kind of sour cream ranch mixture, and then dipped it in like crushed up chips of some sort. I don't remember what they were, and it was actually pretty good. It's different for sure. It is like a cult of hugs, Rainy Rider. There was like so many hugs. Family is not a cult. Who called it a cult? That's funny. It was just such a good time, guys. Like it wasn't what I didn't really know what to expect actually, like going there before I went there. I didn't know what to expect, because I'm just thinking like I'm going somewhere where I don't know anybody. And like, sure, had been acquainted with people like Rainy Rider, like online and stuff, but I didn't know what to expect, because I hadn't actually met anybody. I knew that everybody there was probably going to know each other. People had probably like actually been there or would be there with people who they had come with, or they had been there before. So they were kind of familiar, but I knew that I was going to be there like alone. And I wasn't sure what to expect, like if I was going to feel out of place or whatever, but I absolutely just felt totally welcome. I just felt like I was just part of the group. I felt like I had been there so many times before. I felt like it was just such a familiar place, and I'm so excited to go back, guys. Like it was such a good experience. Yeah, Rainy Rider. I know it was a little sketchy to begin with, Rainy Rider. I'm not gonna lie. Like I wasn't sure if you were just putting up a hoax and you were gonna kidnap me, never to be seen again. No, I'm kidding. No, I was just really yeah, it was just so good, guys. Like, I feel like that's like, I'm just going to keep saying that about it because it was honestly just the best experience I think that I've had in like forever. Like, I can't think of an event or anything that I've been to that can compare to that, because it was just, I felt so welcome and just, like I said, like I've never been hugged by so many people who I don't know, and it was just it was so good. In October, I knew one person when I rolled in. That lasted about a day. Exactly, Jimo. Like, that's exactly how I felt about it. I felt like I left there with so many friends, and they're just like real, like good, honest people. And I honestly, like, I want to come back so many times, guys. I was almost contemplating, like, maybe I should just move to Florida, but I know I would probably die in the summertime if I did, or I would at least have to, like, live underground if I were to move to Florida. Live underground in the summer. Hey, Jonathan. Good to see you here. I had such a good time, sick bastard, and it was just so good meeting all of my viewers and stuff there. I gave away a few magazines, so Rainy Rider got one because he just did so much to help me out. Like, he literally lost sleep to get me to come and get me from the airport. Like, yeah, and then he just made sure that I was just comfortable. Like, he was constantly asking me like if I was okay and like if I was enjoying myself and stuff. So yeah, he really went out of his way, and yeah, it was just so good. The flat roads would drive me back to BC. I think that's one thing too. Yeah, Stephen, I was actually thinking about that. I don't think I would actually move to Florida. You know, like, it's kind of, there's definitely an appeal that the United States has always had for me. But I never really knew, like, I've always kind of been drawn to just the mentality in the United States, of like the mentality of some of the people in some of like the southern states and stuff, because they're just, from what I've always seen on TV and stuff, it just seems like it is really family oriented. And then being there, it was exactly what I actually hoped that it would be in that sense. So there's definitely an appeal in that sense to live somewhere like that, because I feel like people in my province are not so family oriented, and it really actually kind of sucks. Like, everyone here really seems kind of just selfish, I guess, in a lot of ways. But I feel like if I were to move anywhere, then I would miss BC just for the beauty and the roads. Like, I don't know if you can ride anywhere in the world like the kind of riding that you have in BC. There probably are other places in the world that you can, but in BC though, like on this continent, I feel like BC is definitely one of the top places for being able to ride a motorcycle and just have like the best scenery. I'd never have to put the shovel head away if I moved down. I know I wouldn't, but I would have to put it away in the heat though. Like, I don't ride, even on the hot days in BC, where I live in the valley here, because we get pretty hot. Like, I think that, I don't know, like, I think 40 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees Celsius is something like 90 Fahrenheit, or maybe even higher than that Fahrenheit. But it gets pretty hot here, and I don't ride my bike in the heat because it's just, yeah, it's not enjoyable. Like, I burn too easily too, like, so I can't just be out there in the sun cooking away and be all right with it. Yeah, so we can get up to 100 degrees in the summertime here. Normally, we stick around in the 30s Celsius, but it's still hot. Like, if you're just sitting on a bike on like in the middle of traffic. So, and the shovel head doesn't like the heat like that. Like no air cooled motorcycle likes the heat like that, but the older ones just have a harder time keeping cool. Pretty same scenery in Western Washington. Yeah, it probably is pretty similar. You need to come, Jima, you need to come to Canada because I will show you some very beautiful roads to ride. The Penticton area, I honestly enjoyed riding around Penticton more. But I'm sure there's nice roads in the Kelowna area. I probably just haven't had time to explore it as much. But you definitely, if you ever come up here, if anybody wants to come to Canada and ride, I will show you some nice roads in my area. The deer, sometimes they use crosswalks. Sometimes they just hop out in front of us and expect us to stop. Hey, Flip, how are you? Yeah, totally take me up on it, Jima. I heard some things about your pedal to the metal kind of riding, and actually that's kind of my style too. My Springer kind of keeps me in line a little bit though, because the Springer doesn't like to take corners very fast. So yeah, actually I've thought about putting a shock on my Springer just so I can corner a little faster, but my dad, when he built my shovel head, told me that he was building it so that I couldn't take corners fast, probably because I told him too many stories about scraping my pigs in the corners. Hello, Eric. I approve your comment. I had such a good time, Dave. You did a front and rear suspension upgrade on your Dyna, so what you're saying is you can take those corners real fast. Yeah, I think I need to get my front end on my Dyna. There's something going on that's making it not track straight. And it's also a little wiggly in the corners. Leathers in Florida in August is the best with 110 and the sun blazing. I can sense the sarcasm in your text, Flip. Yeah, I would not be too excited about that. That's what I was kind of thinking actually, Jima, is that because I've heard that before, that the Dynas just have those weird wiggle in the corners, which sucks. But I think that if you go from, I think if you change the engine mounts or something, or like I think that there's something you can do actually, like aftermarket mounts you can get for those Dyna engines, and you can change them out that kind of make that more of a rigid setup, so you don't get that wiggle so much. Because the chassis is flexed. So that's one thing that I actually don't like about my Dyna at all, is the way that the swing arm actually mounts to the transmission, and then so your whole alignment, like your whole alignment is done just with like that top motor mount, and that adjustment on the top motor mount adjusts like the rear wheel and like the way your swing arm sits and everything like that. And actually I kind of despise that setup about those bikes. I would way rather just take that Evo engine and put it into an FX frame, like my shovel head frame. Hey, Hippie Trev, good morning. Good evening for me. So I need to turn my screen brightness up here because I can't see you got your comments. There we go. It is a stupid move, Jima. Like the plates that create a huge shower of sparks on your running boards. Yeah. That's why everyone loves the FX. You know what? Okay, so Sick Bastard let me ride his FXR when I was there, and I kind of wish that I wouldn't have, because now I need an FXR and I don't know what to do about it. I honestly, and I won't even, yeah, I'm gonna have to try to figure something out so that I can get an FXR, because if I get an FXR, I'm ditching my Dyna. Because the FXR just handles so well, honestly, but they're not cheap either. If you look at them, like if you go on a Facebook marketplace and you look at the FXRs, they're like twice the price of a Dyna, because everybody wants them because they're actually the best thing ever. Oh, I'm sorry, Peter. I don't know how to talk slower. I've tried. Am I coming to Portland for the motor show end of April? I don't think I'll be able to make it to that one, Jima. I've actually got a pretty full schedule this summer. Yeah. But hey, end of April, if I can ride down, I might be able to ride my Dyna down. Maybe. I'll have to see. I'll have to see how things go. You'll take the Arkansas roads up against BC roads anyways, any day. I don't know. Well, I'm not familiar with Arkansas roads. FXRs are a great riding bike, Dom. I honestly am almost, I'm almost just kind of like upset that I wrote it and now I want one. But I guess maybe I would have never known the beauty of the FXR if I wouldn't have ridden yours, sick bastard. So thank you, first of all, for trusting me to ride your bike. I know you've probably seen my riding videos before, so maybe that partly had to do with why you let me ride your bike. But yeah, thank you for letting me ride it and opening my eyes to the glory of the FXR world, because now that is definitely a bike that is on my have to get list, and it's probably at the very, pretty much at the top of my have to get for bikes list. I've been riding for a while, but I've been told that I kind of know what I'm doing before. Yeah, I know. I almost felt kind of guilty actually riding Sick Bastard's bike when I know that he hadn't even ridden it yet. Hello, Tommy. Good to see you here. I had so much fun riding with all you guys, Dom. I've never ridden in a good tight group like that. I've done lots of group rides, but normally I don't really enjoy group rides because most people don't know how to ride in a group, or they trail so far behind that they're might as well not even be in the group anymore. And it was just really cool just to actually ride in a group that knew how to keep it together. And there was this one section, and actually my camera was working for this too. One section where we rode past this field or this ranch, and these two horses were running along with us for a good part of that road. So that I think I actually got that on video, and that's gonna be put in that video. It's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah, my Weems shirt. Weems gave me a shirt. He said that, here, let's show you guys. He said that he had a bunch of these smalls, and he wanted to give me one. So that was pretty cool. Actually, it fits me perfectly. Normally I don't like the way tank tops fit because they don't fit the way that I like them to, but this one fits perfectly. Hello, Sheva Ryan. Yeah, staggered riding. Lots of people do staggered riding, which I guess is safer if you don't know, if you're not used to riding with certain people. I like to ride side by side if I can, unless it's super windy roads or tight corners or whatever. Normally I'll ride side by side and then whoever's following just backs off in a corner if you need to, depending on how tight the corner is. Jared Weems, Jared Weems is awesome, and he's actually so humble, which probably just makes him even more awesome. Jared let me come to his shop. He invited me to his shop, so I got to go and just check out what he was working on. And then he also let me ride one of his bikes, which I thought was pretty cool. So I got a little video of that too. Not a lot of camp out videos posted yet, but you found me in a lot of them. Yeah, I haven't posted any of my own camp out videos yet, other than what I did from the camp out itself, like the lives and stuff. But I took as much video as I could when I was there. I also wanted to spend a good amount of time just interacting with people. So I did get enough video that I'll be able to make one decent video. And next time I go, I think that it'll be easier just to get around and check out more things that Florida has and just to do different stuff. But this time I feel like I was so overwhelmed with there was just so many people there that were just new to me, and people who knew who I was, and I just didn't know who they were, and I just wanted to spend as much time as I could just hanging out with everybody and getting to know people. And yeah, I didn't see any manatees or alligators or iguanas for that matter. So you guys, I don't know what was going on there, but I didn't see any of Florida's famous reptiles. I saw all the little lizards, which actually were pretty cute, and I didn't mind at all. When do the Forgotten Angels videos come out? I'm going to have to spend some time editing. I'll say that I should have the Forgotten Angel video of the camp out. That one should be out. What's the date? What day is it today? Thursday? Next week. I should have that one out. It's going to be a bit of editing because, well, it's always a bit of editing, but it's about 2 or 3 days of just different video. So it's kind of hard to estimate how long some of that stuff takes to edit, because sometimes it doesn't take very long, but other times it can take quite some time. So I would say probably next week, David, I should have the camp out video out. And then I did get a little video with Weems, and I also just did a separate video of me riding the FXR. So the camp out one, I think I'll probably want to work on that one first and try to get that out first. Yeah, it was nice to meet you at the camp out too. Adventures of Baldy. It was nice to meet all of you guys. I got such a good time. I met my one viewer there who has been watching me for a long time, Lloyd, and I was actually able to give him a magazine, which made me feel really good. Sick Bastard got a magazine from me too. And it just makes me, I was just happy that I was able to give magazines to people who actually watch my channel and who are like dedicated viewers of mine. So I spent a good amount of time hanging out with Lloyd and his cousin Jay and their wives. And Lloyd actually caught like a candid moment of me dancing with their wives, and it was so funny. I didn't know that he was filming me until he sent me the video the next day, and it's actually perfect. I look awesome. Oh, thank you, because I was not feeling like I looked awesome. Thanks, Dave. I did get a little bit sunburnt, which you probably can't tell, but I had a bit of a sunburn on my chest, and it's kind of faded out a little bit now. Actually, I didn't really put on sunscreen. I put it on for like the first day, but there's so many trees and stuff there that it was easy to kind of stay out of the sun. And yeah, I tried to avoid riding in the sun too much, because it's just not fun when you just get sunburned so easily. So post a video. Oh yeah, I'm gonna post a video of me dancing. I'm gonna put it up as a short, and you guys will have to go look at that one. It was pretty fun. Like, I had such a good time just with everybody there, guys. I'm so happy that I could make it, and I have to thank you, like, from the bottom of my heart, Dave, for making it possible for me to make it to that, because I would not have been going this time around if it weren't for you. And it's kind of like made me feel like driven to be able, like, it's a goal for me now to be able to continue to be able to make it to these campouts. And I just had such a good time, guys. Like, and I just feel like I made like so many good friends, and Cindy and David are the most kind-hearted, like, welcoming people, and like the patience they have to put something like that on, and to just be able to open their property up like that to so many people, and really like to be able to provide so much for everybody. And like, I know they've always done it for free before now, which is mind-blowing to me that they would do an event like that for free and just give everybody all their food and their camping and everything, like, free of charge. But even like, that's mind-blowing to me. And I think that people paying $100 to go to an event like that is like beyond reasonable, because anything that I've gone to like that where I live, it's like it's $100 at least just for the camping, and then any of your food or alcohol or anything else like that, you have to pay out of your own pocket. So the fact that Cindy and Dave are able to actually, like, are willing to do something like that and open their property up to people that they like, to anyone, essentially, like anyone who shows up, is just, it's something else. And like, man, I think that just that alone, just knowing what they're doing there, and just how kind they are. And like, Cindy is just she has such a big heart, like, for these kids, for these orphans, basically. She has such a big heart for them, and just that fact alone makes me, man, it makes me wish that I could be there helping. Like, the whole time that I was there, I was just feeling like it felt like a shame that I had come from so far away, so that I wasn't able to actually do anything to help out, other than like whatever you might be able to do, like with cleaning up and things like that, right? But I wanted to help make the event better, and I just think that they're doing such a good thing. Like, I've always had it in my heart, actually, for, I can't even remember like for how long, but I've always had a place in my heart for orphans. And I've always said to myself, if I won the lottery, I would open an orphanage, and I would take all of the children who don't have someone in their life who loves them, and I would like give them that. Like, I would show them that love. And I feel like David and Cindy are doing that, like, and they're doing it out of their own pocket. And they're, like I said, they're opening up their home, and like, they're just giving it so much for these kids. And I would love to be able to be more a part of it. So it is like a shame that I'm so far away from it, but I would love to be able to make it to more of these campouts, and to become kind of like, if I could make it to every single one of them, become involved enough to the point that I can actually like help them out physically with some of this stuff. Yeah, because I love what they're doing. Yeah, so David, like, it's like, I'm so thankful that you made this an opportunity for me to be able to make me to come there. David, if I can go in October, I would Yes, I would absolutely go any time that this event is happening. If it's in my ability to be able to make it, I'm going to make a point of going. I don't care unless there's some kind of a life-changing event that happens at home that prevents me from going. I would not miss that for any reason. Yeah, I want to try my best to be able to actually make it to all of these events. And the hardest thing for me um is not even like the time. It's just the expense of the trip. Um but I'm going to start a fund. I want to start my own like forgotten angels. I thought that actually on the ride on the plane on the flight home. I was like, I'm going to start my own fund for forgotten angels, and anytime I have like a little bit of spare money, I'm going to put it in this fund, and it's just going to be for the purpose of being able to make it to these events, because I want to be able to actually be a part of this. And yeah, I loved it so much. And all of the people there, like there was so many people there who come there, like people that are so willing to help out with it. And there was just so many people there just sacrificing, just volunteering their time. And like Rainy Rider in his live stream yesterday, they were talking about Dominic there, who just like the whole time was just like always busy doing something, and just like taking out garbage or just doing whatever. And it's just, and then the cooks, like, man, I feel like the cooks were always cooking. I was like, man, do you guys even get to like stop and just take in everything that's happening? But they were all so happy just to be involved in it. And how can you not be? Because it's such a great thing. It's such a great thing. Like, yeah. Oh man, if I lived for only 40 miles away, I would be there for every single one I would be there all the time. I wish I lived closer, because I would just be there. I would be there helping out as much as I could. Usually you'll make the announcement for for like the camp out Smile Maker. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, Hanimoto, it was so great to meet all of you guys. Like, honestly, just a group of great people. And if I can make it, I like I keep saying, if I can make it to any of these events, I will not pass by an opportunity to make it to any one of these events. I would love to be able to make it to every single one. I love that it happens twice a year too, because these kind of things, a lot of times they only happen once a year, and it's just way too big of a gap. And I've never been to any rally like this that is completely for charity and nothing else. Any rally that I've been to is just for the sake of just everyone getting together and like partying, pretty much, which is not what this is about. It's like everyone's coming together for a great purpose. And I think that that's probably what makes it such a good group of people. And everyone told me that I came to like the one of the better ones, because it was just more people who were actually dedicated to the foundation, and that's why they were there. And you could totally tell that too. Like I said, like there was no worry. I didn't have to worry about my stuff being stolen. I left my expensive camera equipment, my cell phone and stuff, just out charging and like in public play, like in open areas where everyone was hanging out. None of it was touched. And it was just like so many great people. Oh, hello, Lloyd. Good to see you here. Yeah, I just I'm just looking at your guys' chat a little bit here because I've been rambling on like I seem to do. David, like I can't thank you enough for your generosity and just for all of your support with my YouTube channel. Like you honestly, this trip to Florida, I I never would have imagined that I'd be making that trip. This time last year, I would have never even thought that that would be a possibility for me. And now that I've done it, I feel like it's just like sparked something in me that, um, man, it makes me so happy. Like I'm so full of joy after this. I feel so relaxed and I just, man, I really want to do more to be able to help this foundation out. And if I if I can if I can help out in any way, I definitely want to. I want to be there for it. I want to see this thing evolve and just become more and more great. Like, and I know you can see like God's blessing there in the with it because it's just there's there's no way that God hasn't blessed what these guys are doing. And you can see it when you're there. You can just see it in the joy in their faces, the joy that they get from this. And and it's just like it feels like the kind of place that is just made for family. Like the feeling that I got walking around the campsite on the morning after I showed up there. So Thursday morning before there was a lot of people there, and I just kind of walked around the yard, walked around the campsite just to have a look at how it was, and it gave me the same kind of like magical, like childish kind of giddy feeling that I got when I was walking around at Toad Rock, but it was in this, but it was more in like the sense that it was as though I was walking around my grandma's backyard where you just feel like everything there is put together with love. And you can see the love, like you can see the love, like it's just reflected in everything there. And they're trying so hard just to make it a comfortable space for everybody. And I cannot say enough about this organization, guys. And if you're someone who hasn't made it to this event before, then you need to make a point of going. If you're anywhere within that area and it's just like a short drive or ride for you, I strongly suggest making a point of going to this and just experiencing something that's so wholesome and is just so full of just love. And like I said, like God's blessing, like there's no way that God hasn't blessed what they're doing, and you can see it because they're succeeding at what they're doing. Okay, Lloyd, now I see. It's just Lloyd. See, there's another Lloyd who comments on here, and then and I was so confused for a minute which Lloyd was which. And yeah, JMCG is totally God is there with with Cindy and David, and it's just such a wonderful thing. And that is kind of what it's like. Hey, Dawn, like chosen family. Like I've always said, like I grew up with my parents had a lot of kids. My parents had 8 kids, but so I grew up in a big family, an immediate family like that. But we didn't have lots of extended family around, like our grandparents and stuff. They existed, and our cousins and aunts and uncles. Our extended family was pretty small to begin with, and they existed, but they weren't really around. Like they were always kind of doing other stuff, and so I didn't have a lot of extended family. But my biker family, like all of the people who we grew up around who were just like chosen family, and they just ended up being so close. And there's people who I've known since I was a little kid, who've been my dad's friends forever, and they're always going to be family to me. And that's totally like the people that I met at this camp out. I feel like that same level of closeness to them. And I haven't even known, like, I only knew, like, I haven't even known them for very long. Like, it's been like 2 days, but by the time the 2-day mark came around, you would have never known that I was just like I was just like an absolute like newbie stranger on Wednesday night when I showed up there. And I can't say enough good about it. Like, I honestly feel like everyone needs to go and experience that kind of, just that kind of family. Yeah, up Chuck Chops. You're totally right. Like, David and Cindy, like, they both just treated me with so much kindness. And everybody there, like I said, no, I've never had so many hugs by strangers to begin with, but just by like it all. Like, I've never been hugged so much in like 2 days time. Hello, Baker Nut. Yes, it is live. I don't actually know, John. I don't know how many showed up at the camp out, to be honest. If I had to guess, I would say, oh man, it's hard to even guess. Actually, I would say probably around like 150, 200, maybe. Okay, 100 to 150. And yes, worst part of the camp out is definitely leaving. Sick Bastard says it was 175 people. So I kind of figured, just by my guesstimation of the amount of people, it looked like there was probably between 100 and 200. But I don't know, because I didn't actually find out that information for sure. I'm just so excited for the next time I can go. And actually, yeah, it's going to be so good, because it's going to be, it's going to be so good, because I'm going to know everybody kind of a little bit. I'm going to be more than an acquaintance. I'm going to be like more than an acquaintance this time. Hello, Sydney. You're here. I was wondering if you were going to make it. I was just talking about how much I just love all of you. And I'm so sorry, Sydney, that I didn't say goodbye to you before you left. I didn't realize you were going to be gone by the time I got back. Oh my gosh. So I'm so happy that I got to meet all of you guys. I'll be a star next time. I'll be, I don't know. I don't think I'm a star. I think I'm just like a regular person who people like for some reason. Yeah, anybody who I didn't get to say goodbye to, I'm sorry. I feel like everyone just like left so quickly. It kind of always goes that way though. People just kind of leave. Once the event's over, then people got to go get back to their lives. Oh, thank you, Sydney. You guys were too. Like, all of you were. I just had such a good time. And the next time I go, I'll have more time to actually go out and do stuff with you all. I know that you all were asking me to go on rides and go check out different places. And I just wanted to, and I didn't take a lot of you guys up on those offers, mostly because it was my first time there. And I just felt like I just wanted to be there soaking in as much of what was happening at the camp out as I could, and just meeting everybody and talking and getting to know everybody closer, so that by the time I came again, I wasn't still just an acquaintance, right? Like, so next time I come, I'll definitely go for coffee with you, Sid. And I'll definitely go check out the ride factory with you, Rainy Rider, and I'll do all the things that I didn't do this time. And thank you, David. I think you're a star because you believe in me so much. I sure am shiny. Well, my hair actually is looking a little bit, well, my hair is always a mess, but it's not as crazy now that I'm back in the climate that I'm used to. Next time, I'm not cutting my hair before, well, I'm not going to say that. I tried to trim it before the camp out because I thought that I might I thought I might be able to make it like more tame for the humid weather, but I just cut off way too much. So it's kind of a massacred mess right now. And I plan on not touching it for a while. Thanks, James. Don't sweat the goodbyes. It's all good. There's so much that goes on for sure. And I just wanted to be at the campsite, just like absorbing everything, Sydney, that I felt bad because everyone kept being like, hey, do you want to go do this? Do you want to go do that? And I was just kept turning everybody one down. And I was like, hopefully they don't think I'm just some stuck up jerk because I keep turning them down. But I just wanted to just soak in everything at the campsite as much as I could. Rainy Rider, yeah, it's hard not to miss people. I felt bad because Jess was trying to say goodbye to me, and then I was like, no, I'll be back. And then by the time I was back, she was gone. So I felt a little bad about that. So about 175 people showed up is what it looks like. That looks like that's the conclusion. That's why, so next time I go, my dad actually suggested that next time I go, I should go a little bit early, which I was a little tiny bit early this time, but he suggested that I should go early and stay in a hotel the first night so that I can catch up on my sleep and stuff, because I went straight from, I had like 2 hours of sleep. The morning that I woke up at 4 a.m. to leave Kelowna. I had about 2 hours of sleep. I didn't sleep on the flight. Rainy Rider picked me up at 1 a.m. And then I hardly slept that first night. So I was just beat for the first 2 days. So my dad suggested that the next time I go, I should go a day or two early, probably 2 days early, and get a hotel room for the very first night so that I can just relax, catch up on my sleep, shower, do everything. And then when I go to the campsite, I'll just be totally rejuvenated and I won't feel like I'm dead for 3 days. Surprised Josh didn't make me fix his shovel heads. Josh was pretty busy. He was cooking for people too. I just love Josh's enthusiasm for this whole thing. And I do need to actually correct something that I said in one of my lives from the camp out. I think it was one of my lives. Anyway, I said that Josh was exactly the way in person as he is on his videos, and that's not right. Josh is so much, his videos, when he's making videos and he's doing his shade tree surgeon thing, he's just he's being funny, right? He's making it entertaining. But Josh in person, he's such a genuine, real, kind-hearted person. He was so concerned about me enjoying my time there. He continuously was asking me if I was enjoying myself. He's like, I just want to make sure you're having a good time because you came from so far away. And like, he was such a kind-hearted person, and his heart for this foundation, his enthusiasm for it is so it's so visible in just the way that he is when he's there. And yeah, he's just such a such a good person for this event, I feel. And he kept telling me how happy he was that I made it. He had obviously lots of people who were trying to talk to him and just hang out with him. So I didn't spend a whole lot of time hanging out with Josh. But we hung out enough, and he would come up to me just periodically and just to double check and make sure that I was enjoying myself and having a good time. And yeah, he's just such an open, kind-hearted person. When you actually meet him in person, like he's really a great guy. Oops, I'm just reading your guys' comments here. I always feel bad because the chat flies by, and okay, so Dom says that Sid deserves a shout out because she shows up early every time and works her butt off. She's also an excellent teammate at the tug of war. I missed the tug of war. I was gonna go and get a little tug of war action, and then I ended up missing it. I ended up getting caught up talking to someone. So Sydney, thank you for everything that you do for the camp out too. Thank you to everybody like Dom, Cindy, David, Rainy Rider, like everybody who helps out. You guys are just so good. Hotel, that's no fun. That's why I would have to come a couple days early, Rainy Rider, so I'm not missing out on any of the fun. And so I'm actually like not dead for the camp out, because I just felt so beat for like the first 2 days of the camp out that it was really hard to actually just like enjoy. Well, I enjoyed everything, but it was really hard just to stay focused and on my toes with everything that was going on. Go for 2 weeks. Yeah, I would love to go for 2 weeks, David. And I would probably, if I was going to go for that long, I'd probably bring my laptop with me or something so that I can put videos out. Or I would just do more lives. If I was going to be gone for that long, I would just do more lives, and then you guys get like rider raw content for the time of the trip. Yeah, the air travel totally, and it was like 14-hour, 15-hour both ways with the layovers. Like, I don't know why they had me on like a 5-hour layover in Vancouver on the way there, and then on the way back my flight got delayed, so I had another 5-hour layover, and it was just totally wore me out. Yes, Dom, Shade Tree and Josh are two different people. Like, they're Shade Tree, like as Dom was saying to me before, Shade Tree is a character. Josh is the real person, and Josh is just such a kind-hearted, like just open, honest person. Shade Tree Surgeon, he does a really good job of having Shade Tree Surgeon be a YouTube character, just something that he presents on YouTube, and it makes his channel what it is, and it's so entertaining. And I hope that people don't get the wrong impression for who Josh actually is, because Josh is really just such a kind person, and his heart is so big. Like, he has such a big heart for this foundation, and you can just see it when you're there and you're just watching him just be involved with everything, and him making the seafood boil for everybody. Oh my gosh, guys, like that seafood boil is like, oh, I'm going to be talking about that all year because it's like honestly one of the best things I've seen ever. Hard to handle. I did ride the FXR. I actually got a little video of me riding it, and I loved it. And yes, sick bastard Josh is so down to earth. Like, he's such a good dude. And yes, thank you, Rainy Rider, for looking over me. Thank you to everybody who made this a possibility, everybody who welcomed me. Thank you, Dom, for losing sleep to get me to the airport the next morning. Like, it's just stuff that I don't expect anything like that from anybody. And and I'm just so thankful for everybody that was just so willing to help me out. Thanks, sick bastard. You know what, man? I would have happily used your FXR in place of that Sportster. And because it was, oh man, I just love that bike. You're so lucky that you have that bike, and I hope that you set it up to be exactly what you want it to be, because it's such a nice ride. Rainy Rider, well, you definitely pulled it off. I totally enjoyed it, and I definitely will be coming back anytime that I actually have an opportunity to make it back there. I will be coming back because I so enjoyed it. I can't get over just the joy of it. And this is probably the only time that I have sat here and like looked forward to fall, and like before riding season even starts. I'm so excited to go back again. And I'm going to plan it for longer. 2 weeks, I think, would be a great amount of time, because you have to consider like half of like 3 full days probably of driving. But I want to go check out. There's so much I want to check out when I'm there. I want to spend more time on the beach. I went to the beach briefly, just long enough to get my hair wet and feel just like the most soft sand I'll probably ever feel in my life. I just want to dig my toes into that sand and just sit on the beach with an umbrella and ice cream and just spend like a full day on the beach. But I'm so used to fresh water at my lakes. In the lakes, you can open your eyes under the water and swim around and see what you're doing. And so I did that in the ocean, and not realizing, not cluing in that it's salty water and I'm probably going to hurt my eyes. And it's just, it was so salty. It was my first time swimming in the ocean. It was interesting just tasting the salty water because I'm just so used to fresh water. The ocean tastes better than the lakes. That's for sure. It smells better too. I'm just looking at your guys' comment, or your guys' your chat here. Hello, Georgia Hillbilly. 2 weeks. It looks like everyone's voting on 2 weeks. I would love to go for 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to be able to go again. Yeah, I would love Hanimoto. I would love to go and be able to help out. Next, I've got already have ideas in my head for things I want to do for the group the next time I'm there. Not like anything extravagant, because I don't really have the means to do that being so far away, but I'm definitely bringing a goodie box. So if you guys have any suggestions for Canadian treats or treats that you can't get in the USA, I've already got a few things on the list. I'm going to be bringing ketchup chips, all dressed chips, and coffee crisp. These other chocolates that are made in Canada here, Brookside chocolates, which is like the best chocolates ever, and candied salmon. If I can get my hands on some candied salmon. I did meet Cami Bay, and she's a super nice person. She was doing hair. She was cutting people's hair for them while she was there. I have not ridden a low rider ST yet, chasing Ghost. Yeah, I also, getting back to what I was saying about my plans for the next time I go. So guys, tell me if there's any Canadian treats or stuff you can't get in the USA that you want me to add to my goodie box, because I'm going to be bringing a bag specially just for treats. It's just going to be a treats bag. Even if I have to do a checked bag on the trip there, I'm bringing you guys a treats bag, and I cannot wait to see you all experience ketchup chips. And I want to make you guys all breakfast on one of the days that I'm there. Whichever day, like I'll have to work it out with the cooks, but I've got like this family recipe thingy. It's something my dad used to make for us when we were all little, and my dad was raising us by himself, and he was always trying to come up with meals that required less dishes. So there's this one thing that I want to make for you guys. It's called sausage dogs. And it's probably not what you're imagining. It's delicious though, and I want to make that for the group. So I'm gonna have to get the ingredients for that when I show up there. But I totally want to do that if they'll let me do that for everybody. Yeah, I think that I totally agree with you on that, John Hendricks. There was lots of people there just busting their butts, making sure that everything went smoothly for us party animals. And you know what? It wasn't even like a big party. It was a party. Like everybody was celebrating and enjoying themselves. But that was the good thing about it being such a tight-knit group, and just a bunch of people who knew each other and who had a heart for the foundation, is that they were all there enjoying themselves, but they weren't there just being reckless party animals taking advantage of an event. They were there just being like family, like you would expect if you were all hanging out at like a family reunion and everyone's just enjoying themselves and relaxing and, kicking back a little bit. Bye, Paul. Have a good night. Hope you have a good day at work tomorrow there, Paul. Hello, fearsome name. The seafood boil, Brian, man, I was just like, I can't get over how good it was. Hello, Ray's Moto Life. Yeah, that was so great. Dom, just like, you were totally shoveling that food into people's dishes. I thought that it was so great. I think I got a little video just of that whole thing because I was just so in awe with the whole thing. Sick bastard, she cut your hair? I didn't notice that. Would I consider making the trip on my bike? I don't know, because the weather's so hit and miss at that time of year. Like at the end of October, we could have snow on the way back. We could very easily have like really poor roads on the way back. So it's kind of hard to say. It was great meeting you too, Ozark Bill. Thank you for all of your hard work too, cooking up a storm for us all. Rainy Rider, you're going to get more sleep next time? I feel like you probably say that to yourself every time. Get a hotel for the first night, Rainy Rider, and then you'll get some more sleep. The first night I was there, I went to bed at like 2:30 in the morning, and right after I went to bed, someone's someone's generator came on. I think I slept for like an hour, maybe. I had like a total of like 6 hours sleep over the course of the first 3 days, over the course of like 3 days. Yes, Gregory, I second that. In 2 weeks, David, I am not going to argue with going for a couple weeks because I feel like 1 week was not enough time at all. There was so much still that I wanted to do when I left. Who won the raffle bike? I think his name was Tim. It's on. I think Shade Tree has a live of the whole raffle, so you can see the guy was like so blown. He was so happy. It was so funny because when he came up to the stage, he's like, "What did I win?" Like he didn't even realize that they were raffling off the bike at that moment. It was so great. Thanks, Dwight. See you, Eric. Hope to see you in October with your family there. I'm looking forward to meeting your family. And yes, Sydney, I will be bringing ketchup chips and I will be bringing all dressed chips. And you guys have to tell me if there's any other goodie. Maple syrup? Don't tell me you guys don't have maple syrup in the United States. You guys, seriously? I'm bringing maple syrup and we are having French toast. And I don't think it'd be a good idea to have me make poutine because I've never actually made poutine before. I always just go and eat poutine somewhere where it's good. But we can attempt to make poutine if that's something that we want to tackle that. Okay, tell me guys, do you guys have maple syrup in the US? Because if you guys just have fake maple flavored syrup is not maple syrup. It's got to be 100% like from the maple tree, maple syrup, or else it's not maple syrup. You guys just got to let me know because I'll bring whatever you guys need to make you have the full-on Canadian experience. I hope you guys get to the next one too, Lloyd. It was such a good time. And thank you so much for taking that video of me and your wife. And yeah, like, oh my gosh, those girls were just like such a blast. You'll buy me a box of Peeps cereal? Thanks, Rainey. We can do a trade-off. Yes, all dressed chips. And we're going to dip those all dressed chips in that cheesy Tostitos cheese sauce. One of my friends one time forced me to try that, and it was actually really good. It sounds weird, but it was like addictively delicious. Thanks, Jacob. I'm looking forward to being family. Butter tarts? You guys don't have butter tarts? Oh my gosh, you guys got a chip. Are you going to come to the next campo? If you're going to be there, I will bring you butter tarts. I will. I'll try to find good butter. Oh, and October is going to be butter tart season here. I'll try to find you good butter tarts. If you are going to be there at the next one, I promise you guys, I'm getting a bag. I'm going to pack that thing. It doesn't matter what you guys want. I'm going to be packing whatever size of a bag I need to, and it's going to be, I'm going to have to just check a bag. I'll just bring one checked bag, and if it gets lost in luggage, I'm suing the airline. Good evening, Rob. Tim Hortons, I could probably bring you guys some Timbits, but I'm not sure how good they would be by the time I get there. Well, I mean, I'm going to be there probably early. The Timbits won't be there. I might be able to put them in a Ziploc bag and have them semi-fresh. Oh, I'd love to bring you guys Tim Hortons. You know what? I'll bring you guys a can of Tim Hortons coffee. Do they sell Tim Hortons canned coffee in your stores down there? See you, Hanimoto. And Dom, I will definitely make you all breakfast. You guys are going to love this. It's such a like biker campo breakfast. in my opinion. Canadian bud. Okay, I might end up in jail if I try to do that, but yeah, that would be candied salmon. Yeah, so someone told me about candied salmon, which I've never tried because I'm not a seafood person. But apparently they make it in Granville Island. So if I can get my hands on some candied salmon, you bet your bottoms I will be bringing you that. You guys just tell me what you want. And tell me, do they sell cans of Tim Hortons coffee in the USA? Because I won't be able to bring you guys fresh Tim Hortons, but I'll be able to bring you guys a can of Tim Hortons coffee grounds. Oh my gosh. And then Tim Hortons coffee cream. We could probably make it almost exactly, not quite exactly like Tim Hortons, but we can try. Yeah, ketchup chips. I mean, I've just grew up with ketchup chips, Tommy, so it's weird to me that it's weird to you. It's because I've just always had ketchup chips. I don't eat chips. Like, I'm not a big chip person. I get random chip cravings and then I'll buy chips and I'll eat like a handful and then I'll wonder why I bought chips because I'm just not a big chip person. But I'm definitely bringing you guys the chips. Bring you Tim Hortons coffee. Yeah, I'll bring it. I can bring a can of like coffee grinds, I think. But I don't think I'll be able to bring like an actual brewed coffee. Yeah. I will definitely Tim Hortons coffee grinds and a Red Rider family recipe hillbilly breakfast. That is what's going down in October. Oh man. I'm gonna have to like make a point. Chasing Ghosts is saying that you guys will make me gumbo and jambalaya. And I'm gonna have to make a point of like losing like 10 pounds before I go there so that I can gain it all back at the camp. And I also found out another thing too, like, okay, donaires. You guys don't have donaires in the USA, you call them gyros, which is basically like a donaire. But I was just like shocked to find that there was just such a that you guys didn't have donaires, like a gyro. I've never heard of a gyro, but apparently it's exactly the same thing as a donaire. What seafood was in the boil? It was shrimp, and then they had like some kind of smokies in there, corn and potatoes, and it was so good. And then he just dumped a whole bunch of butter over it all. Man, oh, it's making me hungry just thinking about it. Hello, Daryl. Oh, Rainy Rider's gonna make gumbo the first day there. Are you showing up on the Wednesday again, Rainy? Like, is it always like from Thursday through to the Sunday? They have dill pickle potato chips in Mississippi. Okay, Diana's got the dill pickle chips. She's gonna do that. She's gonna do the dill pickle chips for us. Do you guys have sour cream and onion chips? Or what about like bacon chips? We have all kinds. Like, we've got crazy amounts of chip flavors here, guys. Good night, John. Thanks for showing up. You got caught in freezing rain? Yeah, so I think that riding out from Canada would be a little risky. You're not sure if you're coming out in October? Gima, I'll be there in October, so hopefully you can make it. Yeah, David, that's kind of what I'm thinking too, that that if I ride all the way from here, I'll just be totally beat. Like that's a 1.5 day trip and nonstop. Like if I were to go nonstop, it's a 1.5 day trip. So that's a 3 day trip if I want to sleep on the way. It would be like, yeah, so it would be a pretty crazy trip, I think, to do. But I would still like to be able to try to do it, but I just feel like at that time of year, it's not the most practical because the weather's just too hit and miss. Like there was people on this trip who said that they were coming from even like they were not even as far north as me, and they had snow for the first like 100 miles or so of their trip. And yeah, big or not, if I had a road tripping van, I'd be taking my shovel head with me. I would love to bring my shovel head down there. You rode to and from in October last year, Dima, and what was the weather like for you? Like, did you get snow or anything like that? Because you're only a few hours further south than I am. I would like to do that ride at some point. But I also, yeah, I would have to plan it out. I'm just not sure if I would want to do it at that time of year. Chima, if you can fly in October, that would be so cool. Because I've like heard that I have to meet you. Okay, you guys do have maple syrup. Thanks for confirming, Rainy Rider. You do. Okay. It's good to know. I was almost very upset for you all. Yeah, poutine is so good. Oh my gosh, Chip. Man, you guys are making me hungry now, actually. Bring butter tarts. Okay, I'll bring butter tarts. I promise you. And October is like the season that the butter tarts are being made around here. Okay, Rainy Rider. I hope you have a good night, Rainy. Thanks for coming in. Oh, so my dad's saying it's a 3-day trip if you can do 1,300 miles a day, which I cannot do. Because Google Maps, if you look it up on Google Maps says it's a 1.5 day trip, which is like a lot, but it's like 4,000 like 4,000 kilometers or something like that, which is like just around 3,500 miles, I think, somewhere in there. And so above the 3,000 mark for mileage. I can't remember exactly. Good night, Rainy. Thanks for popping in. Gima, how long did it take you to ride? Gima, oh man. I feel like of all the people who I would do a ride like that with, you sound, from everything I've heard about you, you sound like one of the people that I would. $1,300 times 3. Okay, I'm a little bit off, hard to handle. So it's like 49,000 or 39,000 kilometers or miles. I don't even remember where that. If you can do 1,300 miles a day. Yeah, so that's not a short trip. 550 miles a day. So what would that be? How many days would that be? So if it's around, yeah, that makes that a long trip. I just don't think I'd be able to, mostly I don't think I'd be able to afford to be gone for that long, because there'd be a lot of stuff not getting done while I'm gone, like pertaining to my YouTube channel. So I think that would be my biggest concern. Is flying is just convenient in the sense that flying is convenient in the sense that it takes so much of the travel time out, and I kind of need to be at home to be able to keep putting stuff on my YouTube channel. So I think that like flying would be the most practical thing, unless I was set up that I can actually like edit videos, or that I actually have enough content to continue putting content out while I'm gone. I would have to have like a stockpile of videos that I can actually release while I'm gone. Kind of like I did this time. I had like 3 videos in the bin and they were just released while I was gone. So that worked out, that I was actually able to keep my channel active during it, with the live streams and stuff and the shorts that I was able to put out too. But that would be my biggest concern with riding out, is just the time that I would need to be away from my shop. Like I've got so much to do in my shop, and just that, like keeping up with videos and putting videos out all the time, plus keeping up with the projects and stuff in my garage. It's all like very time consuming. So I would have to really plan for it, and like I said, like have some videos in the bin that they can come out still, that I can have at least a video a week coming out while I'm gone. Ideally 2 videos a week coming out, so while I'm gone. The Greek restaurant was a favorite haunt of yours. Which Greek restaurant, Marcus? I'm just seeing your comment now. I'm just trying to look and read your guys' comments. If I don't respond to a comment, you guys just comment it a second. Just comment again until I respond to you, because if I don't respond, it's just because I've totally missed it. I'm not ignoring anybody or feeling like your comment doesn't deserve a response. So it's 3,040 miles is what my dad says there. 3,040.6. So it would take me 6 days if I have no problems. Plan on 7 and arrive on the 8th. 3,040 from Kelowna to Tampa. Yeah, it's not a short ride. Bring a laptop. That's kind of what I would have to do, sick bastard, is bring a laptop and try to edit videos while I'm there. But then on the other side of that is, how much time am I going to want to be cooped up in like my tent editing videos and not actually experiencing the thing that I've traveled so far to go to experience? Okay, bye, Chasing Ghost. We'll see you soon. Tell your dog we said hi. I could always film the trip, but you're going to be tired when you get to Florida. Yeah, well, I would have to film some of the trip for sure. Kelowna to Tampa in kilometers is 4,893. Yeah, I'm sure that it would generate tons of content, Jima. It would just be something I would need to really plan for. But yeah, it's just kind of tricky just trying to juggle everything. Ride south from Toronto to Niagara Falls. Oh, that would be kind of cool. Like to take a train. Oh my gosh. That would be so cool. But you know what I would actually love to do is get my shovel head down there, which it would be an even longer trip on my shovel head because my shovel head, my tank on there is so tiny. Yeah, and it would be yeah, it would be, I would love to just put my shovel head on a trailer and trailer my bike down there just so I can have it at have it at the camp out. And yeah, like Rico's saying that it's not like I'm not riding like a brand new road glide or something like that. I'm riding like an old 94 Dyna that at best I have a windshield to put on to kind of help block me from the wind. But a windshield's not even the most ideal thing for a ride like that. And the windshield that I have isn't even really ideal to begin with because it's doesn't quite fit for my height. But it's like an old it's just kind of doesn't I would have to really plan it out and set my bike up for it. I don't have saddlebags or like a way to carry any luggage on there or anything like that at the moment. But I think it's definitely something I want to try to do. It's just the time of being away from home and neglecting everything that I have here that I need to do would be the thing that would be the hard part for me. It's definitely something I'll have to consider for another time. But I think if I'm going to be going in October, I wouldn't be riding out because that suddenly makes a 2-week trip, a 3-week trip, which is like a month pretty much. And then that's a whole month of me not being able to really do anything at home, the things that I need to be keeping up on. Poker on me and care for your bike like a parade. Oh my gosh. That would be fun. You know what? I feel like it's just kind of a shame. Anytime I go somewhere and on my Dyna, there's so many places that I would love to ride to that my Dyna would be fine for a trip to do trips on with. But I just feel like it's such a shame to leave my shovel head at home because that's the bike I want to be showing off to everybody. That's the bike that everybody who watches my channel loves. And it's just like that's my bike. That's the bike that was made for me. And yeah, I just always feel like it's such a shame if I'm leaving that at home. So one day I'll be set up. Hi, Cindy. Thanks for popping in. Thank you for making me feel like part of your family. I absolutely love what you guys are doing there, and I'm always going to come back. Every opportunity that I have, Cindy, I'm always going to come back. I can't wait. I can't wait to make it to another one. I'm so excited. I think it's like the only time that I've ever looked forward to the end of summer because I just want to come back and just be with everybody again. And I just absolutely love what you guys are doing there. And I would love to be involved in it in a deeper way. Yeah, if I was closer, I would be there all the time and just helping you guys out. Red chasing ghosts. You're going. That's a pretty long trip there. Oh, what, Dad? Am I ignoring you? Dad, I'd have done it at your age. I know you would have. And I would do it at my age too. Though, like, I could do it if you guys are okay with me not posting much on my YouTube channel for a while. Or, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just think too much about those kinds of things, because I think I would just be more concerned just with the things I would have to be ignoring at home, which trying to keep content on my channel would be really a challenging during a trip like that. But maybe it wouldn't be. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Am I scared? I don't think I'm really scared, Bradley. Like, I'm not scared of. No, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm scared. I think that I wouldn't be worried about breaking down if I was on my Dyna, because that it's pretty much a brand new engine in that thing. I think I'm probably just overthinking the whole YouTube, trying to juggle my YouTube and do an extended trip like that. Just do it Itchy Boots style. Yeah, I think Itchy Boots gets to her hotel and spends most of her night editing. But that's the only way that she's able to keep her videos flowing on her channel. Bye, Matthew. Okay, Rainy Rider. I thought you were gone like an hour ago. You would be going through angel withdrawal for 2 weeks, maybe even longer, because it would be a week of travel each way. So it'd be 2 weeks of traveling, and then I would be in Florida for 2 weeks, just like a week of the camp, and then, well, like 5 days of the camp or a week, and then a week of just doing Florida things. Rainy Rider wouldn't, because you'd be hanging out with me. It would be warm in Florida, 30 degrees Celsius in Florida. That's the kind of trip that if I was going to do that on my shovelhead, I would want to have someone to ride with, because if my shovelhead ended up breaking down on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere with no cell phone service or something like that, like, I'm not really into putting myself in that kind of a position. Jesus has my back. Itchy Boots style. Look at all these people. Y'all want me to just get out there on the road with my laptop? That's what I'm thinking, Chasing Ghosts, is that if I had enough videos made ahead of time, that they could just be set on a timed release, then I could keep my channel alive while I'm gone. Itchy Boots is not afraid of anything. Yeah, Itchy Boots is pretty insane for a girl. Like, she does a lot of stuff that I'll be watching her and I'm just like, geez, girl, you should not be there. You're on your own. David Shepard, my dad unfortunately can't really do trips like that anymore just because of his health. And my sister, well, she probably would be into a trip like that, but I suppose it would just depend. Be sure to pack my little buddy for protection. Maybe. I don't know if I'd be able to get away with packing a little buddy. I might not make it at all if I tried to do that. Yeah, James, I'm totally scared for her a lot of time when I'm watching her. Yeah, she's great. Itchy Boots is she's insane with the things that she does. Okay, so if you know what, guys, would be cool if I were gonna do a ride down to Florida, would be to start where I am at, and then to meet up with different riders along the way who are going to the camp out. So then, like, the group just grows the closer I get to Florida, and I just pick up more and more riders along the way. Load my truck up with a trailer and your bike. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool? Like a little convoy or whatever, caravan. You'll ride the last 50 miles. See, I think I totally could have like a pretty good group of riders if I were to ride from BC to Florida and just tell people like where I'm going to be, what time, when, and have people meet up with me, and just like the group would just get bigger and bigger as they get closer to Florida. Wouldn't that be cool? Itchy Boots has video lead times 3 to 6 months out and will take a week off between videos to edit and set up logistics. She's also well over 1 million followers to pay for it all. That's true, Rico. She's got she definitely has her YouTube completely supporting everything that she does. Yeah, chasing ghosts, like there's so many. I always think of that there's so many people in like the older generations, of so many riders in the older generations that have just done the most crazy road trips and on things like my shovel head and like old pan heads and things like that. And I don't know, maybe I am a little bit of a chicken. Okay, Jima, I will keep April in mind. And I hope you have a good dinner. I'm actually getting hungry too. And this burnt popcorn, my popcorn that I burnt, is the only thing I can smell right now. Look at all these people, guys. Okay. Here. Yeah, the rider gang. Look at all you guys. I feel like we could have a good group get together for that, hey? I would have to ride, like, I would do the most direct route from BC to Florida, and then I would just have to plan out my stops. I would have to have everything planned out, like, very precisely so that I know where I'm stopping when, and then people can meet up and we'd all just ride out together. It'd be so fun. Oh my gosh, guys. That was actually my dad's idea to do something like that. Yeah, my dad, see, all you guys have all these stories about your long road trips. I think I'm just too much of a worrywart. I think I probably think too much of the things that could go wrong or that I would be ignoring if I were to go and spend a bunch of time traveling the world. But I guess like that's something that would be a good idea, just to figure out how to do more. And yeah, if I can bring my laptop with me, then that would mean that I can do video editing and stuff. Sometimes Itchy Boots, if you guys like see the amount of stuff that she has packed on her bikes, when she gets to the hotels and she's unloading her bike, and you just see she's got like, it would be enough to fill up a small trunk of a car. Yeah, Doodle's got a good channel, Chasing Ghosts, and it is good. It is a good idea to not let people know where you are all the time, especially if you're alone. Hello, Van. Good to see you here. The Dragon Tail Road, I would love to ride the Dragon Tail. I feel like I just need to spend a good amount of time just traveling around the US. Yeah. It feels so freeing having the ability to just go wherever you want to. I've never had my passport before this. So, but now, yeah, I can actually just go to the US. I'm so excited. I just want to go down to the US and eat. I just want to eat all of the food that you guys have that are just like seafood boils and like whatever else you guys have that we don't have here in Canada. I just want to go eat it all. Yeah, my dad is a real biker, hard to handle. He used to ride crazy rides. I plan on eating the food, Dom. I'm going to eat so much. I'm like seriously going to lose weight just so that I can go and eat all of the food when I get there. Eat through Texas. Oh my gosh, guys, you guys are making me hungry. All I keep thinking about is the seafood boil, and it was so good. And I wish I would have eaten more of it. That's probably the only regret I have about this whole trip is not eating more. Oh my gosh. It always feels like a ripoff when I can't eat as much as I want to. And nobody, like, I didn't even get to have real Southern cornbread when I was down there. If anything, I need to gain weight, not lose it. I mean, like, I'm not too skinny. But I definitely don't want to make it so my jeans don't fit. My jeans were getting tight by the time I left there. Yes, if Cindy wants to make me her cornbread, I would happily eat it. I love cornbread. Oh my gosh, you guys are making me hungry. Why do these chats always turn into conversations about food? Yeah, chasing ghosts, that's a good idea. Hey Warren, good to see you here. I've just been kind of talking about my experience at Forgotten Angels and all of the food that I want to eat and the Southern hospitality and all of the people who I met who were just like family and people who just treated me so with so much kindness and sacrificed their time and just did everything that they could to make me feel comfortable and welcome. And I'm just telling everybody how much I love the United States and the people that it has. I just like experienced so much hospitality this past week. Man, you guys can feed me whatever. I'll eat almost anything. Other than seafood, I'm not a big fan of. I know I keep talking about the seafood boil, but I pawned my shrimp off onto Saddle Tramp and his wife. So I didn't actually eat any of the seafood, but I ate everything else. Oh my gosh, and it was so good. But I'll eat pretty much anything that is not seafood. Big dysfunctional family. It kind of is. Hey, Layla? Your jeans were already tight before the campo. You gotta bring your fat jeans so that you have room. Cracker Barrel restaurants along the way? Ooh, really? We don't have Cracker Barrel restaurants here. A gumbo cook-off. Please have a gumbo cook-off, guys. I will eat everybody's gumbo. Yeah, it would be cool to be able to do a good road trip with Dad, but that's not something that's gonna happen, I don't think. Okay, Chevron, thanks for coming along. Your brake switch. Yeah. Go get your bike registered. I hope your brake switch is a simple fix. Yes, gumbo cook-off. I'm gonna eat so much. I'm already thinking about all the food I'm gonna eat. I can't wait. And I can't wait to make you guys breakfast. I think you guys are gonna like the breakfast. It's not anything super fancy. It's not like some fancy like 5-course breakfast. It's just simple and delicious. And I can't wait to make it for you guys. Gumbo doesn't have to have seafood. What does gumbo normally have in it, though? I don't actually know. I've never actually had gumbo. I've only ever seen gumbo on, like, Disney cartoons, I think. I would totally eat gumbo, though. Oh, there's a Cracker Barrel in Ontario. Okay. Well, I haven't actually been to Ontario. I should explore some of my own country, probably. A traditional gumbo usually is made from a roux and has okra. I don't know. I think roux is like a broth of some sort, isn't it? I don't even know. I don't know. I didn't know what a gyro was either until I realized it was basically a donair. Gumbo is for making a dish out of whatever you have handy, kind of like cleaning out the fridge. Okay. Gumbo is a potluck. It can be chicken and sausage, seafood, or mixed turkey, whatever. Really? Good night, Seamus. So gumbo sounds like it's just whatever you got kicking around. Yeah, donair salad. It was so good. I was so sad I was sitting on the plane thinking about that salad the next day, Dom, and just like feeling bad that I couldn't eat more food. We probably could have gotten away with ordering the salad and one dinner dish. I mean, we totally could have gotten away with that. There's so many leftovers. Hopefully somebody got to enjoy them. Catch you next time, Chevron. Thanks for coming out. Man, you guys, I want gumbo. I'm so hungry. I can't wait 7 months. And when I order a gyro instead of a euro. Okay, we have donairs here, and I said donair. I went out for dinner at a Greek restaurant with Dom, and we had this salad, and he was saying that the salad had gyro meat in it. And I was like, do you mean donair meat? And everybody looked at me like I was an alien or something like that. And because donairs is not a thing in the United States, I guess. But it's basically a gyro. And yes, we did eat like kings, Dom, and it was so good. And I tried to eat more. I was so full. I just wanted to just keep eating though because it was so delicious and there was so much food and that salad. Oh my gosh, I'm definitely going back for one of those salads next time I come there. I need to have a full one of those salads and be able to eat the whole thing. That sounds so good, Chasing Ghost. Night, Mark. Thanks for coming around. If I have the notion to ride down to the USA, I need a van or a truck with parts and wheel change and tires to follow me. I would love to just take my shovel head. Man, guys, it feels like a ripoff that I can't take my shovel head more places. Yeah, sick bastard, what's going on, right? Why are these chats always making us so hungry? I feel like these chats always turn into chats about food. It's the emphasis on adult beverage that keeps you from Forgotten Angels. You know, Van, I think that from everything that I've been told actually about the previous Forgotten Angels campouts, everyone told me that I came to probably the best one in years because there were not a whole lot of people there, and everybody who was there was super familiar with each other. And there were people enjoying their beverages, of course, but it wasn't like a rowdy biker crazy get together. It was more just kind of like the kind of get together where you would have with more like your family, where everyone was just kind of, kicking back and enjoying themselves. And not everybody there drinks. Even like I had a couple beer on the Saturday night that I was there. But I don't drink. Like, I'm not a big drinker. I enjoy a drink or two. And the Canadian beer is better than the US beer for sure. I wish I could bring you guys some Canadian beer. But yeah, we definitely weren't all getting all drunk and stuff. And I wouldn't even say there wasn't even any like drunken mishaps. A lot of times you'll go to something like that and there'll be like at least one person who just gets too drunk and, does something stupid or whatever, makes a fool of themselves. And I didn't see anything like that going on. Yeah, Tommy, that's what I was told too, that they went to charging for entry just to filter out some of the people who are not concerned or don't care about the organization itself and are just there for a free party, which is definitely like a good move, I think, for them. The tater tots in my cargo pocket? Oh my gosh, Baker Nut, it's so funny that you would say that. The tots. I know all I have with me right now is a bag of burnt popcorn. I'm pretty sure I caught it on fire because it was smoking for like a while. And then I put the butter in there, and I think the butter just made it even worse. I think I'm going to have to make myself a new bag of popcorn because this one smells pretty burnt. Mm-hmm. It's not the rowdy, it's for minors becoming adults. Example, this old drunk avoids. Oh. Well, maybe I'll be able to see you at another event sometime, Van. I was under the impression that you'd be there this time, Van, just because I think I misread one of your comments from before. That it sounded as though you were going to be at Forgotten Angels. So I was kind of expecting to meet you there, but that's okay. Some people, if it's not your kind of event to go to or being around alcohol and stuff like that, then I think that that's totally reasonable. And we'll have to plan a different event. Maybe I'll be able to make it down for something else. Haven't had a sip in 10 years. That's good for you guys. It's always good to hear of people who have been able to like get over if alcohol or anything like that's a problem for a person. Like, I think that we should, I think that there's lots of things like that can easily become issues for any of us. And I actually stopped drinking altogether. Like, I know I'm not very old, and but in my early 20s, I noticed myself getting into a habit of drinking too much on too regular of a basis. So I actually stopped drinking completely for probably like a year or two, because I was like, after, like, I can't be allowing myself to get carried away with alcohol, of all things, or anything like that can be addictive and just like affect your life in an ill way like that. So I quit drinking for like a year or two, and since then, now I've got a very low tolerance to alcohol, and I'll have a glass of wine a couple times a week with my dinner, or if I'm out doing something like when at Forgotten Angels, I had a couple beer on the Saturday night. Then I was just enjoying some beer with the people that I was hanging out with, and I ran into some of my subscribers who offered me one of their delicious canned drinks. But yeah, it's definitely not for everybody. And in Arkansas for log homework. Well, Van, I will be going in October again. So if you're in the area, you don't have to come to the camp out itself. You can always, I'll be going for a longer period of time. So we can always go for, we can always meet up for something like lunch or something like that. Yeah, Van, my dad's right about that. Young people need a good example. People like you who can come and hang out, make sure that they're thinking twice about their future. So it would be cool to see you at the camp out, even if it wasn't for, well, I already know you're not afraid of camping, Van, because you've told me about some pretty interesting camping expeditions of your own. Sick bastard, I'm a cheap date. Right? Yeah, I definitely am not a drinker. I don't actually have anything. I don't have any vices in that sense, actually, except for tea. I do like to have my tea with my cream and honey in the morning. If I have any vice, it's definitely tea, because it's really hard. Oh man, I felt so good just coming home. I was looking forward to having a cup of tea so bad. Next time I go, I'm buying a box of tea. I'm like, I need to get myself ready, set up for tea, because I need my tea in the morning. Well, Van, I really appreciate your stance on that. And like, I think being a single parent would definitely, I don't know, I'm not a parent, but being a single parent would definitely sway you differently when it comes to those things. But my dad, I think, is right. And as a single dad himself, has the place to speak and say that young people do need good examples. And Van, I think that you sound like you would be a good example, and actually just a good person who would fit in really well in that whole environment, because it isn't just a bunch of partying, drinking people. And I hope that you would know that I wouldn't just say that to promote something, but I would only say it if I mean it and if I believe that it's the truth. And it was totally not the kind of event that is just like a motorcycle rally for the purpose of being a drunken party animal. It was an event that people were gathering together for a good cause, and everybody who was there, you could tell had a real heart for the cause. A Diet Mountain Dew addict. Yeah, I'm so hungry right now, Baker Nut. Look, I've already been on for over 2 hours. I was on for over 2 hours last time. You're with him, Chip. Okay, cigars. It's funny that It's funny that you bring up cigars, Chip, because I have never seen such a cigar culture in my life. There was so many people in there was so many people at the camp out smoking cigars. Normally cigars is only something that people smoke here on a special occasion of some sort, but there were so many people smoking cigars and just like cigars being sold in stores and stuff. Yeah, I've never seen such a thing. But Florida is like the cigar state. Americans love cigars. Yeah, I noticed that. There was so many people just smoking cigars. Nothing better than a delicious blend of hot coffee. It really gives you something to look forward to in the morning. Having a hot tea. I like my tea with honey and cream in it. And I will definitely be bringing you guys a tin of Tim Hortons coffee for everybody to try out. Yeah, Tampa is a big cigar town. I definitely noticed that. That was one of the first things I noticed, and I was puzzled to it because I didn't know that Tampa had a cigar history, and I was just noticing that everybody was smoking cigars, and didn't know why until I was schooled on the history of Tampa. And then I did go for a little walk down in Ybor City and saw some of the old cigar factories and stuff. And it was really interesting history. Crescent Bike. Are you talking about Shovelfest there, Landreth Farm? I hope to see you at Shovelfest. It's going to be such a good time. Another thing that I'm very excited for. Tampa is Cigar City, and Kyle works at a cigar bar. Kyle brought the cigars. Oh, okay. Yeah, I cannot drink coffee all day. I don't even like coffee personally. I'm super picky. I'm very bougie about my coffee. I'm super picky about it. But if it's the only thing around to drink, then I will. Queen and you are still getting used to the camper life. Van, you do you have a little kitty named Queen? I think you sent me pictures of that kitty. A little orange one, I think, if I remember correctly. A few people have sent me pictures of their cats in the last little bit. I think camper life seems like something that would be really peaceful in a way. And I think if I didn't own a whole bunch of motorcycles and need a garage, I would be into living in a camper. So maybe when I have no more projects, then I won't need a garage and I can live in a camper. Coffee is your only vice? Yes, same here. Well, tea is my only vice. Oh, do we get a discount on Cuban cigars? I mean, I don't know. I don't smoke tobacco and I don't smoke anything. So I'm not too sure. I've never looked into what kind of a discount we may get on our cigars. I think that I could too, Roy Boy. I've thought of that too before. That I probably have enough viewers who I feel like would put me up and who I would be able to trust. Mm-hmm. 858 years old and I still haven't had any coffee. You haven't drank any coffee ever, Van? Do you like tea? You must be a tea drinker then. Because tea is the bomb. I love a good English breakfast or Irish breakfast. Actually, breakfast in Paris I discovered as a tea blend, and Yeah, like the best breakfast tea blend I've ever had. I didn't care for, I mean, I didn't actually mind your Folgers Maxwell House blend. It just tastes like coffee to me. The very first cup of it, when I poured it from the pot that hadn't been brewed completely, was not the best, but I drank it anyways. I don't really have a preference for coffee. I don't know what's good coffee and what's not because I just don't drink coffee enough to really know. But I do know that the Tim Hortons ground coffee is like superb when it comes to ground coffee. And that's probably why it's like twice the price of any other coffee grind that you'd buy. Normally when I drink coffee though, it is like super bougie and it's usually like a latte of some sort or a mocha with extra whipped cream and chocolate drizzle with vanilla syrup added to it. It's just super bougie. And if I'm just drinking like brewed coffee, then I prefer freshly brewed coffee and with like good like heavy cream. I'm just such a picky like snob about coffee, even though I don't even know what good coffee really is. But maybe I do, and that's why I'm so picky. I don't know. Coffee and a joint. Yeah, I love tea. Tea's just so good. Oh my gosh, guys. I just want tea and breakfast. Sometimes I go to bed and I just look forward to waking up and having tea and breakfast. Sweet tea and no ice. You know what? I didn't have any sweet tea when I was there, but I'm thinking like, is sweet tea the same thing as iced tea and you guys just call it sweet tea? Because we have iced tea, which is just black tea with like some honey and lemon juice in it, or sugar and lemon juice, whatever you want to put in. Yeah, so that's iced tea, we call it. But I think that sweet tea is probably the same thing. Some southern sweet tea. I need to try some southern sweet tea now. Okay, well, next time I go out to eat there, I will definitely get myself some sweet tea. Tim's is superb. That is right. It is definitely superb. I was missing my Timmy's for that camp out. Biketoberfest. I might be able to make, I'm not sure if, I guess it depends on when Biketoberfest happens, and how close it is to the camp out. Yeah, Van, I think that's almost mind-blowing that you've never had coffee before. I think you're the only person I've ever heard who's never drank coffee before, never even tried coffee. You know, some people like to eat the coffee beans. There's like chocolate covered coffee beans. I could never get into that. But some people, yeah, some people will eat just the coffee beans straight. Iced coffee. Yes, I do like a good iced latte. Hello, Hugh. Way more sugar than iced tea. Is that what you're saying, Layla? Your blueberry caramel mocha. That's an interesting combination. You sweet tea is iced tea, but with sugar. So we put sugar in our iced tea or honey sometimes, but I guess it's just like you make it to whatever preference you have for sweetness. So the Biketoberfest is the week before the camp out. So I probably wouldn't be there for it because I think I would probably end up staying the week after the camp out as opposed to the week before. Because I feel like the week before will just be pretty busy for everyone who would be. Yeah, I feel like the week before might end up being a super busy week for a lot of the people who I would know down there. 4 cups of sugar and a gallon of tea. Oh my gosh, that sounds so sweet. An hour and 21 minutes. Yeah, I know I've been on for a long time. I'm on for like, it's been like 2 hours and almost 2 hours and 20 minutes now. And I'm getting so hungry. So I'm actually thinking of putting an end to the live stream, guys, because I feel like lots of us are getting hungry. Ranch raised 10 years, U.S. Army and years as a friend of Bill W. And the smell of coffee never had me wanting to drink it, not even to sober up. Interesting. Yeah, well, I don't think coffee is that great of a thing. Some people can't live without it. I can easily live without coffee. I just like to have something warm and comforting in the morning when I wake up. And usually it's tea. If it has to be, it's coffee. No cream or sweeteners. Well, guys, I think that I'm probably going to put an end to the live soon. I decided not to do this live in my garage because it's a lot easier to do it in my living room here. And I'm trying to set up the camera in the garage is not the easiest all the time. This coffee's, I think so too, Tommy. Like I always smell coffee and it smells so good. But then when you're actually drinking it, it's not as good as it smells. Van, that sounds like you had a delicious dinner. Okay, guys, who's hungry? Put your hands up. I'm hungry. I think I'm gonna go get something to eat. It's 25 after 7 here. It's probably like I know it's getting pretty late for some of you guys. So thanks for sticking around for this long, all of you. It's time for everybody to go eat. Yeah, my burnt popcorn is just sitting there, smelling up the room. So I'm gonna have to go make myself some fresh popcorn. Have a good night, everybody. I look very official in front of the bookcase. Thank you. I planned it that way. I've only read a few of these books, but I plan on reading them all. So thanks everybody for coming. Sweet dreams, Tommy. Thank you all. Thank you, Van, for your prayers all the time. And have a good night. All the rest of you, I'm so excited for what this year has to bring. And thank you again, David, for making so much possible for me on my channel. And thank you to everybody else from the camp out for making me so welcome and just treating me like family. I love you all. I'm so happy that everything that I'm just growing closer to so many people that I've just have just had as acquaintances on my channel for so long. And I'm so excited for October. I can't wait to see you all again. And I love you all. Peace. Bye. Have a good night, guys. Go eat something because that's what I'm going to do. Bye.